Hello everybody, welcome back to Bella Ma's channel. This is Bridget advocating for the orphans and telling my story. If you like what I'm about, like, share and subscribe. It helps with the growth of the channel. So this is how episode 4 starts. Remember, episode 3 ended with Anne promising herself that she was never going to go back to school ever again. She also told Marilla and Matthew that she was never going to go back to school, but they said nothing about it. Now the question is, did she ever go back to school? Did she keep that promise? Well, let's find out. Let's get into the video. Okay, what is she doing up there? I know what this means. Seems like she kept the promise. This reminded me of the time I was in primary school. I had transferred, and at the new school that I went to, I got bullied. So I went for like a week without going to school. First 2 days, I lied that I was having a toothache. My mom died of a toothache, so they thought maybe I had inherited the sickness. The rest of the days, though, I left the house, but I didn't get to school. I then figured that I was going to get in trouble. So after a week, I went back. Anyway, Marilla and Matthew were worried about Anne's decision. Marilla felt the need to talk to someone about it. So Marilla went to Rachel to talk about it. And she left a pie in the oven under Anne's watch. And Rachel told Marilla that she had to give it time. Anne was going to come back to her senses and she would eventually go back to school. And at home, Anne was burning the pie because she was busy imagining things. She forgot about the pie. She didn't realize that it was burning until Marilla came back from Rachel's place.
Dear God. Anne!
Marilla? Oh, the pie.
Oh.
If it was in real life, I would say Marilla thought of the story she was told by Rachel, the one of a little orphaned girl who had burnt her adoptive parents' house. But Anne, though.
The way.
I'm sorry, Marilla. I'm so sorry. I forgot.
I am aware. Don't just stand there with your teeth in your head. Open the door.
Marilla was vexed. Oh my God. Anne was not serious. Seriously?
Oh.
Fetch the slop bucket.
The good thing is she apologized and she was helping.
Oh, I'm not sure this is even fit for pigs.
I'm very sorry, Marilla.
Not even fit for pigs. Seriously, that was burnt. It was black.
I meant to watch the clock. Truly, I did. I was having the most delightful daydream.
Your mind is idle, Anne.
Is an idol at all?
Okay, what kind of an excuse is that? Daydream. Oh, come on, Anne. Do better.
I was imagining that I'm wise Princess Cordelia, and I only have to touch a book to know its contents.
This has gone on long enough.
I also hated the fact that Anne didn't like herself. Well, not forgetting the trauma and what she's been told before. I understand her for wanting to be someone else, but seriously, I hated that.
No one thinks she's strange at all. In fact, she's embraced for being different.
Life is not magic, Anne.
I know.
You can't just wish yourself away.
That was true. At this point, I was starting to like Marilla. Education is the key, no matter what.
I'm raising you, and I know what's best. It's high time you went back to school.
Please don't make me, Marilla, please. I can't face it. I promise I'll do better here. I promise.
You did this to yourself, Anne. Suck it up. But I understand you for not wanting to go back to school.
Not while you're bargaining, because there's no use in it.
But Matthew said I didn't have to go back.
What now?
Okay, someone was in trouble. He actually got in trouble for this because after this, Marilla went straight to him.
Understands that school is a torment for me. But of course he'd understand. He's a kindred spirit.
Kindred spirits. I understand Anne though. She was scared. Everyone hated her.
I don't have any friends.
You've got Diana.
No, she can't like me when no one else does. Don't you see?
Well, that makes sense. Considering that she was new, there isn't much that Diana could do. And also the fact that Diana's parents didn't like Anne.
Self
and guilt. Well, there's a boy whose sole purpose in life is to humiliate
stuff
me.
And nonsense.
I don't fit in.
Only if she knew that Gilbert had liked her and you would fight anyone for her.
I'm going back to school tomorrow, and that's final.
And she meant it and had to go back to school. The following morning, Anne went to school, but when she got to school, she realized that she couldn't get inside. So she turned back and then she went into the bush, and that's where she was going each and every day, lying at home that she was going to school. Yet she was just going to that hut and spend time with the trees, talking to the trees and flowers. She also got a book from the house that was written History of London, something like the last word I couldn't see it, I couldn't read it. So she got a book and she started reading that book. She would actually tell Marilla that, hey, today we're going to study this part, blah blah blah, yet she was just lying, telling her the things that she was reading from the book. However, this didn't last forever. Diana and Ruby brought Anne's books, trying to figure out if Anne was ever going to go back to school, and also hoping to see Anne. And they saw Marilla instead. They asked Marilla about Anne's whereabouts. And Marilla got to know that Anne was not going to school. Marilla told Matthew about it. So when Anne came back from her school, as usual, she tried to convince Marilla that she was in school and everything went well. But as she was explaining, she saw her books on the table. She saw her books on the table and she knew that she's been caught. That scene makes me laugh. Oh my god. Like, it was so funny trying to defend yourself, telling Marilla that she didn't like the school, you know. Anyway, Marilla then decided to call the priest to at least teach Anne about morals and not lying. Also hoping that she may listen to the priest, and this is what happened.
You must always remember, honesty is the best policy.
Honesty isn't actually a policy, though, is it?
I bet.
One thing I know about Anne is that she's an opinionated person. She's always going to question everything. Oh, God. Seriously?
It doesn't matter what you think.
About anything? Or...
She's not your usual kid. It's so difficult to do with a sovereign person, hey?
Do you agree never to lie again?
Is a lie of omission really a lie?
But is it really a lie, though? Well, I just forgot to tell you about it. I just omitted that part.
You see, she's not sorry.
I am sorry, Marilla. I truly am sorry for vexing you and for...
You said you were going to school.
I went in a fashion.
I went in a fashion. Oh my god. Technically, she went to school.
You take us for fools.
But they hate me there.
Enough! You must learn to harness yourself. I see what the problem is here.
What's the problem, sir?
This problem is easily solved. If the girl doesn't want to go to school, then she shouldn't go. She should stay home.
See her face lighting up, thinking that the priest was on his side now. Well, Anne, it's too early for that.
And learn proper housekeeping until she marries.
This is how you deal with someone who is opinionated and has a tongue of their own. Just show them the other side, because they are definitely going to question it and then figure out what they want in life.
When the Lord God said, "It is not good that the man should be alone, I will make him a helper fit for him."
I don't know if the priest was just saying, but it really was working. Anne was ready to change her mind.
There's no need for her to bother with an education. Every young woman should learn how to be a good wife.
With that, the priest left. Marilla was not happy. She got stressed. She didn't like the life she was living. If she had a chance, she would still go back to school. She wanted better for Anne. She even lashed out at Matthew, asking him if he would want her to slave for him. Later, they went to bed. But as they were sleeping, they heard a bell. Something was happening in the community. Anne woke up and she went straight to Marilla. Marilla told her that there was a fire and they had to go out and help. The Gillis house had caught fire, so everyone in the community was rushing there to help. Anne asked Diana what had happened, and as Diana was explaining, she realized that the doors were still open. The doors and the windows were still open, and then she ran into the fire.
No! Anne!
Diana was not about to lose her friend. Anne was brave for doing this. I would never.
Anne, run inside!
Let me go!
No!
I need to get Anne!
Oh, poor Marilla.
Did it slow it down?
What were you thinking?
Fire needs oxygen. Closing windows and doors deprives it.
The other reason why I like Anne with an E, it teaches you so many life hacks. One can use this, really.
Oh my word!
Anne slowed down the fire!
However do you know that?
It was Anne! She did it!
And she came out a hero, though I'd say this was stupid. Also, I loved Jerry.
Fire manual in the orphanage. There wasn't much else to read.
Yes, being an orphan comes with so much sorrow and pain, but it also comes with so much knowledge that an ordinary person can never learn. So after a few minutes, the fire stopped. The priest gave a speech. Ruby had to go and stay at Green Gables. At first, she didn't want. Her mother told her that she had to be grateful. Also, Diana told her that she shouldn't mind other girls. So they left together and Anne was happy to have her. In their room, Ruby was crying. She comforted her, told her about her first night in that room, and also about Princess Cordelia. Since Ruby was going to stay there for a week, they planned to stay busy. Anne was learning to make biscuits, so they planned to make some for the boys who were working at Ruby's place.
We'll stay busy. I'm learning to bake. We can make some biscuits for the boys. That's a good idea about the biscuits. It's a shame you're not in school anymore.
Ruby was so cute and sweet. I loved her.
It's best for everyone that I'm not there.
So they made the cookies and took the cookies to the boys. So Ruby falls down and Billy tried to bully them. But Anne said, "Not today, sir. You are not going to bully us. I'm not scared of you."
Why don't you shove off and leave the men to their work?
Why don't you give me that hammer and I'll finish the job myself if you're too busy being a bully to get it done?
Well deserved. He annoyed me so much. And the fact that some men laughed at him.
Hey, here. You alright?
Gilbert was a gentleman.
Thank you, Gilbert.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for coming by to help feed the beasts.
Much obliged.
The fact that he said the beast and didn't like it at all. I mean, why, Gilbert? I think this is the part where she realized that she wouldn't want to live a life serving men. So they went home. Matthew complimented her for not letting Bill bully them.
You're right, Minister. Honesty is the best policy. And it's also very satisfying.
Well,
I don't know if this part was necessary. The following day, they met with Diana. They talked, wrote some stories, and they agreed that every week they would write something and they would read to each other the stories they would have written. Ruby was to go back to her home the following day. At night, Anne goes to Marilla, tells her that she was ready to go back to school and that she didn't like what the priest had said. She thought about it and she figured that it wasn't her. She was not meant for that. So schools were opening the following day, so she went to school. Diana and Ruby were so happy to see her. Some kids were shocked though, and Gilbert was also happy. And that was the end of episode 4. Happy New Year! I hope you're ready for this year. So, hey, thank you so much for joining me. This is Bella. Why not change your narrative? Why not change your narrative? Bye!